I'll show you. It's like, you know, on the TV how they do something and they say that you put in the fridge to chill and, hey, it's done right away. So I have a cake ready. But I'm going to do a 6-inch because it's faster. But instead of just showing you guys how I ice upside down, I'm just going to show you how I fill them, pour them, get them all ready, all that kind of good stuff. Bake the cake. I usually, as soon as I bake the cake, I let it just cool in the pan for like probably 5 minutes. And then I wrap it loosely up with saran wrap and stick it back in the pan and pop it in the freezer for like an hour. And that, because there's a lot of steam that comes off the cakes, and I find that when you wrap them up with saran wrap, the steam stays in there and it keeps the cake more moist. And then I just keep them in the fridge until I'm able to fill them and work with them. It's always good to work with a chilled cake, so these have been in the fridge the whole time because they cut better, you didn't get as crumbly and stuff, and you could try freezing it for a while. But these are really big. For some reason I made these really big. So I'm going to cut some of it off. I always try and get my cakes to be 4 inches high. It always looks nice when the cakes are 4 inches high. And I have my little measurer thing over here. So I'm going to try and get it each 2 inches. And there's a dome, so we're going to cut them off. I'm just measuring where the 4-inch mark is. You guys know what this is?
Yes.
Angela, excuse
Yes.
me. Can you discuss a little, because do we have some new members
New
that
members?
doesn't have any cake
Okay.
baking experience? So
Okay, so you bake a cake, a lot of times you get a dome. Usually I don't get a dome, but on these, for some reason, I got a dome. But you always want your cakes to be leveled when you stack them and fill them, because when they're not leveled and you get the dome, you have all this extra space and it doesn't work well. So you get one of these little cutters, and it's just like a string, metal wire. Yeah. There's 2 sizes. I have a huge one, which I hardly ever use, and there's this one, which I use all the time. It just cuts better. The big one that Wilton makes has a metal blade on it. It's like a 1/2 inch wide, and I find that metal blade bends.
Yes.
So usually I just stick this in the corner and I just rotate the cake around to it all the way around it, because I don't like using that big one. So this one I like using a lot. And you just like level it off and it just shaves off the dome. And you can make cake pops with this or let the kids eat it up. My kids always love them. So then you get a nice flat top. And if you want, I'm not going to do it today, but usually 1 layer of filling is never enough. It's a lot of cake for just 1 layer of filling. I always like to cut it down, so you just measure it, figure out where the halfway point is. Yeah. Move your leveler.
They have double filling.
Yeah. And then you just move the leveler down even more. I could do 1. Let's see. I think I'm at 2 inches.
That's okay, you have it like something.
And this has little notches in it, so you know where to move the wire. And you just have to make sure it's even on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you just slice it.